What is going on, you guys? I have another video here where I'm going to be talking about this game Raid Shadow Legends. I have basically in this video I'm going to be going over some strategies for not getting your butt kicked in the arena. Essentially, is what it amounts to. And the first thing I want to mention is basically, you're going to need characters with abilities that that are symbiotic, I guess is the word, that basically help each other. So the basic idea for the arena and really kind of any level is you're going to have characters that are going to be your heavy-hitting attack characters, like Kayle, for instance. Let's see, who else do I have here? This girl, the Dark Elves Harvester. She's really good. He's pretty good. He's a freaking monster. I like this guy. He's kind of one of my newer characters, but I like him so far. This guy I'm still a little bit unsure about. He's pretty good so far, I guess. Really like this character. Sweet character here. And then Athel. Anyway, so you got your heavy hitters that are going to basically, they're there to kill the other players. But then you have then you're going to have, on the other end, you're going to have characters that enhance the attackers in different ways. For instance, keeping them alive, like this guy. You know, he's got this little shield ability. He places a shield and a counterattack on a friendly player. Or actually, he can put it on himself, but anyway, the idea is putting it on other players. Or he has an aura ability that increases ally attack by 18%. Well, that's really useful, right? That's enhancing what the attackers are doing. You know, the people who are there to basically bring the pain. Another good character that's a good support character. And by the way, this is I'm not really talking about the different classes necessarily, because you have like defense here. This guy's defense. He's defense. She's called support. She's also support. Technically, the Orc Shaman is called support, but really she's actually more of like an attacker, at least as far as I'm concerned. She's really she's my most powerful character overall, but then also one of my strongest attackers. But the idea is, you know, you're gonna have characters like Kayle that are basically, like I said, they're there to bring the pain. But then if you have a character like her, well, you know, she's got, first of all, the shield armor. What is that going to do? Well, that's going to give you a 30% extra shield. So in other words, your guys stay alive a heck of a lot longer with 30% more shield. She also has an aura that's going to increase their speed by 10%. Also keeps them alive longer. Removes debuffs. Yeah, that'll keep you alive a lot longer. You know, if you get poisoned or somebody attacks you with fire or frost or whatever the heck. 50%. This is her actually strongest ability, I think. 50% increased attack buff on all allies. So you pull that thing out, 50% increased attack with Kayle's already crazy attack, especially with his acid rain, and you are going to be doing some horrendous damage. And instead of me just jabbering about it, how about I just show you what that looks like? So there we go. I'm going to bring the Spirit Host along, and I am going to bring my other Orc Shaman for kicks. I have two Orc Shamans. I'm not particularly fond of that faction by and large, but the Shaman's a pretty amazing character. So, boom, increased attack and acid rain. I thought somebody would die with that, but anyway, you notice how it damaged their entire team. That's one of the big things in the arena is you want characters like Kayle and Athel and others like that are going to attack multiple opponents at once. So it's going to really help you in the long run in the arena. In the long run, it's going to really help you in the arena to be able to be, you know, to be able to win. Basically, I don't like it. I mean, he didn't even break past my shield. This Orc Shaman on the left got a little damaged, but she has immortal armor, so I mean, she wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. So I'll just kind of show you what that does. I'm going to replace this Shaman with my Skull Crusher, and then I'm going to replace the Dark Elf Spirit Host with the Barbarian High Katoon, or however you say that anyway. The Katoon's aura ability increases your speed by 19%, and then she also has this Rally the Horde ability, which makes you that much faster, basically. And then this guy, Stonewall, probably the all-time best ability I think to have in the arena. Ally protection on all allies plus counterattack. And you'll see what it does in a second. First I'm gonna do that. Okay. And then watch when these guys start hitting. And you just automatically start counterattacking. Well, it works better if they have, you know, other characters they bring, like if they have like Kale, for instance, and they attack all of your players, then all of your players will then turn around and counterattack. It's pretty amazing. Skull Crusher, you notice he put a debuff on the shaman there, decreased healing. So if you have a character like this guy has, this, oh, what is she called? Forgetting the name of that character right now, but it's a Sacred Order character that basically comes from fellow players. So to reduce healing means that you're going to be able to kill him a lot easier. That's one lineup that I have, or a couple lineups. And I mean, some of you are probably watching this thinking, man, I don't have any of these characters, dude. What do I do? What do? You start cracking shards, man. Like a freaking lot of shards. And the best way to get shards, one of the better ways at least, is once you beat the whole game, you have to beat the whole game on hard. Then you can go to Brutal. I have not unlocked Nightmare yet. I want to though. But you start beating these levels on Brutal, and especially if you can get 2 or even 3-star victories, you'll start unlocking shards like crazy. You start getting so many more shards and just a lot more stuff, really, in general, like silver and different things that they give you, or at times I've unlocked entire characters where they just say, oh, you beat this level, here's a rare type character. It's a little hard to do Brutal on a 3-star victory on Brutal. It's a little harder because you have to beat it with 2 champions, but it can be done. I've done it on quite a few of these levels, actually. Another thing that you're going to want to do to get more characters is you're going to want to do the Amazon Prime here. They've already dropped a few, but basically every so often they're going to drop either shards, or in this case they're actually dropping this character here pretty soon. Then the next thing is they're going to drop a bunch of ancient shards. They've already dropped 2 characters. Ironically, both of them kind of sucked. Ultimate Gaelic I did not like, and I didn't like Whisper either. I think that's Whisper, I think that's her name. Anyway, I have her around here somewhere, but honestly I didn't think, yeah, she's right here, okay. I didn't think she was that great. I'm going to just use her to basically, because she's a 4-star, I'm going to use her to upgrade one of my guys to 5 stars. I tried to use her, upgraded her, put really, really good armor on her, and she just did not do much for me. Honestly, for me, the Knights of Revenant is just not one of those factions I'm too fond of. I mean, personal preference, but I'm just not overly fond of these guys. I've unlocked quite a few of their characters, and they just seem to be pretty weak. That and the Orcs, for whatever reason, even though one of my best characters is the Orc Shaman, my actually most powerful character overall is the Orc Shaman. I've unlocked a bunch of other Orc characters, and so far they've all sucked, except for that one. one of my strongest factions so far has been the Dark Elves, both in the arena, but also just anywhere else for that matter. So I have KL, Spirit Host, like I said, those are both really good arena characters. Another good guy to have in the arena. She's pretty good in the arena. I don't think she has enough defense to face most, some of the more powerful teams out there, but she has a very powerful attack. Very, very powerful attack. If nothing else, she's very good in dungeons, but the arena, you can also use her. Mystic Hand, this guy's pretty cool. Weak attack, just super weak attack, but he's really good at restoring the health of the other characters, as well as stealing buffs from the other team. So like they do like an increased attack buff or an unkillable buff or a deflect damage, you can steal those buffs from them. This guy can also Essence Snatch. He can steal a buff from the enemy, as well as do a ton of damage. This is actually one of my favorite characters at the moment. So the Brute, just a monster. Not a ton of defense, not as much defense as I would like. So in the arena, he's probably going to be the first guy to go down, but he's also going to take some guys with him. Basically, he does just a great amount of attack, and this is probably the only character from the Knights of Revenant that I've made that I really like and I've made a lot of use of. He's also pretty good in the arena because of his aura. So he has an aura that increases your defense. So kind of allows you to stay alive a little longer, which is always a good thing. This Tumult ability, if you upgrade it a few times at least, is pretty good. Decreases speed as well as does a pretty good amount of damage. His main attack, I personally think is a little tad weak. Now I could use to upgrade it, as you might notice it's on level 1, so I probably need to upgrade that. Might help. But right now, he's basically he's a defensive character. That's what he's there for. He's not necessarily there to bring a whole lot of damage to the enemy. He's there to keep everybody else alive so that they can do damage. So that's why he has the shield armor, which again, this gives you a 30% shield for 3 turns. That is quite useful in the arena, though I will be honest, it's only useful if you can really end the round pretty quick, like do a lot of damage and defeat the other team in about 4 or 5 turns. And if you go past that, then the shield is useless because it only lasts for 3 turns. So if you go much past 4 turns, then you're not going to have a shield and it's not going to matter. But if you can end the match pretty quickly, have some strong attack characters in there that can just, kill off the other players real quick, then the shield is going to be probably your best friend. And I think that's it, at least for the arena. She's pretty cool. This guy is another good guy. If you can unlock him, Fortress Goon, he's another Ogryn, which is fast becoming one of my favorite factions. The Ogrins, they're just monstrosities. They don't just look like monsters, their abilities are pretty monstrous. So this guy is interesting because he's defense technically, but he actually has a strong attack, which is crazy. He has a strong attack, but then so he has an area attack, which is very useful in the arena to be able to attack multiple enemies at once. That's one of the most useful things in the arena that you can ever have. But this ability is also very useful in the arena. So heals all allies by 10%, then places a 30% increased defense. Increased defense. So you're healing everybody and increasing their defense. That's really useful to have in the arena. Him and this other guy, where is he? Skull Crusher, are probably the best defense characters to carry with you into the arena. Oh, how can I not mention this guy? Strong attack. He has that one's good for taking down other players that have high defense, but then again, area attack, rolling blow, attack all enemies. Though, I mean, that's basically, if you want just a simplified version of this video, that's the 2 best ways you're gonna come out victorious in the arena. You need characters that are gonna increase your fighting ability. So characters like this, that's gonna increase your speed with her aura, or characters that are going to give you a counterattack like Skull Crusher can with the Stonewall ability. But then you're going to need on top of that characters with a strong attack, yes, but a strong ability to attack multiple players simultaneously. And so Kale, the Courtier, almost forgot High Katoon. She does have an area attack, but only one, unfortunately. But oh, Athel. How can I forget Athel? My goodness gracious. Divine Blades, man. I have actually not had this character very long. I don't have her super upgraded, but even with her not being upgraded, I gotta say this Divine Blades ability, it does do quite a lot of damage. So I think that's it for me. And just want to show you some tricks, tips and tricks, basically how to win in the arena, how to kick some butt in the arena. In the next videos, I'm going to be showing how to beat the dungeons, how to kind of muscle your way past some of these harder bosses and things. So stay tuned for that.